Hello and welcome to 90 Day Fiance Trash Talk. This is episode 62 and I'm your host, comedian Tracy Carnazzo, joined by my co-host, Noelle Winters-Herzog.
Hello.
Hello, Noelle. We're here to talk about Before the 90 Days, season 4, episode 7. So before you told me, you were like, oh, nothing really happened on this episode. You said it was boring?
No, I said I like this episode.
Oh, okay. I thought you said it was boring because I was going to say that isn't untrue.
No, I said this episode actually was like pretty good.
Oh, okay, good. I'm glad that we're on the same page because I was very confused. This episode was super meaty. Guys, if you want to hear more of us, by the way, make sure you're joining our Patreon at patreon.com/Trash Talk Podcast. And you could find over 100 bonus episodes of Noelle and I. And it is just such amazing work that you will be perplexed. And remember, we have 90 Day Fiance Trash Talk magnets for sale. Go to my Instagram at Trixie2Zini, TRIXIE2ZZINI, or follow us on Instagram and Twitter at 90 Day Podcast for more information on that. Or if you want even more information about any merch that we have or anything we do, make sure you join our Facebook group. It's called 90 Day Fiance Trash Talk Podcast.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's very fun in there.
I love the groups. Like all of the groups make my life.
I know. And I have a new podcast called Only in New York. And if you guys aren't listening to it, definitely listen to it. This week was such a special episode. And if you listen, a lot of people said your intro made me cry. So listen to it.
Okay.
All right. Let's get started. Let's start with your favorite and the most cringeworthy couple here. I think, who knows though? Lisa and Usman.
Miss Cigarette Juice herself.
Oh my God. So her roots right now are woofing. I don't know what else to say about them.
I haven't heard that in a long time.
Is that a good?
Yes, they were woofing out. Yes.
And now you say cigarette juice. I literally have written here in my notes, the next thing was cigarette juice. So she has made, Noelle was very good at making this a long time ago. She used to be a cigarette juice farmer in her day. Lisa is in her hotel room smoking cigarettes and ashing into, I think this was a juice cup.
That's what it looked like. I don't know. Whatever it was, it was
a cigarette juice glass.
Yeah, it was frothy.
And she fills it with water and then she ashes into it. She makes a homemade ashtray. What a crafty and fun thing to do. She's like the Martha Stewart of cigarette juice. And Usman, so they get to this hotel, and we see this last episode. They get to this hotel, and Usman is like, all right, I'm just going to walk my friend to the car.
And then he disappears.
Now, when this happens, okay, just take note, though. It's light out.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so I would say the latest it could possibly be is 7 p.m.
Okay, fair.
Is that fair enough? Okay.
Yeah.
He doesn't come back. And he's going to be so grounded.
It's like pitch black when he comes back, though.
He winds up coming back at 2 a.m.
Like, what was he doing?
Where do you think this guy's car was parked?
I don't know. Probably where like every husband goes, like when they hate their wife. He probably just like left and was like kicking rocks outside, complaining.
Being a BFB, as Noelle likes to say.
That's my favorite.
A big fat baby. So he's wearing his metallic snakeskin dashiki.
Mm-hmm. It's very cute.
And very cute. And she's wearing her engagement ring over her finger tattoo.
She looks great, by the way.
What's going on here?
I don't know. I mean, sometimes when I see this stuff, it makes me think maybe they do belong together.
Right? It's like you don't think that he could do better. I don't think he could do better.
No. The more like he speaks and the more we're around him, I'm like, man, maybe this is right after all.
This is right. He starts yelling at her, and he said that all he does is apologize to her, and Lisa wants to control him, and he'd rather live in prison.
You know, it is like he's living in prison. He says he doesn't want to apologize morning, noon, and night, and she's not a god.
Okay, but here's the thing.
Okay.
She did this, and she started this right away, even on the phone.
Oh, she's always been this way. Right. And now it's like now that it's in person, he doesn't like it. But she's always been this way. It. Right.
But you knew. Also, this is like every husband's or boyfriend's line. I feel like I'm in prison.
Oh, God. Is it ever?
Really? In prison, do they make you 3 meals a day in prison?
In prison,
actually they do.
Do they wash your underwear in prison? Oh, I think they might too do that.
They actually do.
Yeah.
Maybe you should go to prison.
Yeah, all right.
Maybe all of our partners should go to prison. So he breaks up with her.
Right.
And then the camera throws so much shade at them. So they're like standing up. He breaks up with her. Breaks up with her. Mm-hmm. And then the camera pans down to their feet. Mm-hmm. And they're both wearing the same mandals.
Those are like Jesus sandals.
Right. And if anyone doesn't know what a mandal is, it's a man's sandal.
Right. A mandal. Just like a merce, a man purse.
Right. He said that he's having second thoughts.
I think he's having 12 thoughts.
I think he's only had one thought this whole time. And it's, I need to go to USA.
I need to be Soldier Boy. Major celebrity.
Okay, so he comes back to the hotel room at 2 a.m. and he wants to, he won't talk to her, and he's on the prison couch.
Mm-hmm. And he's being a hella BFB, smoking his hookah alone, sulking on the couch.
Yes, he's smoking his hookah. Thank God he carried that onto the plane. And he's lighting his coal. He's tending to his amber cinders. And here's a quote. Are you ready for the quote?
I'm ready.
Okay, sorry, I've been coughing a lot. It's not corona.
No, it's allergies. I get it.
Yeah, regular allergy cough. Okay, so you ready?
Ready.
I have a fantastic opportunity to go to US and be international musician that I dream to be. But I'm worried I'm sacrificing too much to achieve this dream.
Do you know how many of those Instagram DMs I've gotten?
What do you think about this quote, though?
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. What do I think about it? Like, she's watching it right now. What the hell does she think about it?
Okay, I can't wait. You know what I think would be a great show? You know how they have Pillow Talk where the other couples watch the newer couples?
I know where you're going with this.
Noelle, if they sat Lisa down in a room and they showed her Usman's confessional tapes, that would be the Pillow Talk I want to see.
She would beat him.
She would break the camera.
Yeah, she would beat him. Her brain would melt. Like, that would be crazy to watch.
Oh, my God. So he is definitely... So they wind up talking, right? And she's like, I don't know why we can't get past this. And he's like, if you're like this in Nigeria, I can't even imagine what you'd be like in the U.S. She wants to move forward. They make up, but he is spinning this onto her.
Yeah, no, he's definitely spinning this onto her because, like you were saying, she's always been this way. He's
okay,
like,
and the second thing is, he's like, nothing I do is good enough. And it's like, oh, you're mad because she doesn't want to take a dirty bucket shower?
Right, you're mad because that was funny. You're mad that she doesn't want to hang out with your roommates every day, everywhere you go, You're
mad that she doesn't want an Usman sandwich with giant meat?
You're mad that you don't want to drink her cigarette juice?
Right? Oh my God, cigarette juice is delicious.
Oh.
Let's talk about Ed and Rose, which was, to be honest with you, the meat of this episode.
This was the meatiest. Yes, it was.
Okay, so we start the scene where they're selling nuts on the street. So it's just like in New York City. They're just selling a little bit of honey roasted peanuts.
They smell so good.
They don't really taste good, but they smell delicious.
Agreed.
And they're back at the hotel, and Ed says to Rose, "Home, sweet home."
Mm-hmm. And I was like, "Oh, all right, interesting, okay."
And it's just so funny because it's like, wait until you see where you are going, Ed.
He is honestly, again, like we always say, how do you not Google? Like, he's clueless.
Google.
He's so clueless.
Google Maps. Put her address in. Do Google Maps.
Yes.
Look at the street.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Mm-hmm.
So he wants her to take a bath. And he puts on her robe and slippers. He's like, put on the robe and slippers, take a bath. Okay, it's cute and all, but also I know why he's doing that.
Because he's trying to say she's dirty and he's like, he skeeves everything. Yeah.
He skeeved out by her. Absolutely.
Yeah.
She has major zits.
She does have major zits. Honestly, it's probably because she's sweating all the time. There's no AC anywhere.
She's never sweating, though.
I know. She isn't sweating, but I feel like that's what it has to be. Like, I don't know what else it could be. She does have bad skin.
Very bad skin. So now he is too excited for the massage oil. So she's in the bathtub and he's getting the massage oil ready. Now, I need to know something, Noelle. You might know the answer to this question.
What?
So he has the massage oil, but is he a professional massager like David, or is he just an amateur?
Okay, so I think that maybe he's a little higher tiered than David.
No.
I don't know. I feel like this guy, he's done a lot of massaging. He's been alone for a long time.
True. But I think David's been alone for a long time too.
Actually, that's
true. By the
true.
way, we don't see on this episode, but
I
am
missed
excited
him.
to see. I'm excited to see. So he gets a bottle of champagne, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he said that he can't tell if she's into him or not. And there was a meme that I read, like this little inspirational quote kind of thing. And it said, if you think they don't like you, or if you're not sure if they like you or not, they don't.
Okay, 100%. I agree with that. But I think she's a little bit like, if you guys watch Teen Mom, she's a little bit like Tyler from Teen Mom. She's very like, doesn't really know how to react to situations, kind of like really goofy, makes weird faces because she's awkward. Yeah.
Yes, a little bit. But also, look at who you're with.
Right. That's true. He also is the most awkward.
Okay, so she's in the bathroom and he knocks on the bathroom door and then just opens it up.
Right. And she's just there though.
I mean, obviously that was staged because if you opened the bathroom door, I would have screamed to the top of my lungs.
Me too.
So he's like, oh my God, you're my queen. And what am I? He's literally trying to teach her English, but she knows English.
He's trying to teach her English like that he is like her god almost.
Right. He's like, you're my queen. That makes me your, and she goes, you are your queen.
Uh-huh. And she knew what she was saying.
I know. She's like, let's pretend I don't speak fluent English. So he's going to offer her a foot massage and he tells her to take off her robe.
Right. Why?
Creepy.
Mm-hmm. Girl, she's probably like, thank God I have these pajamas.
Uh-huh. So he's rubbing her hairy legs.
Mm-hmm. Which is fine. Whatever.
They look like my winter legs.
Here's the thing. When I was watching it, I was thinking to myself, Tracy's probably like, these are my winter legs because I know that's what you do.
Yeah, I know. And I'm upset because I got laser hair removal and now I'm not going to be able to grow my warm winter legs.
You won't have a fur coat on your legs?
I won't. So he's super creepy and he asked her how to say halik in Tagalog. How to say kiss. And she says halik. So he goes, is a quote, may I halik you?
Gross.
So she's like, here on my cheek, on my pimple, you can kiss me on my pimple.
Here's the thing, Tracy. I have to tell you, I like closed my eyes. I was shuddering through this.
Oh, it wasn't great. So then he kissed her on the lips real quick and he said that it felt like heaven.
Ew, honestly, like, I know that like we're trying to be a little PG, but he like came in his pants from that.
Oh,
yeah,
so gross.
Yeah, he's so gross.
So they've been talking only for 3 months, and we forget this.
I know. You know why? Because we're used to people talking like that other guy, David, for like 7 years, 8 years.
So now they're waking up together because they consummated the relationship the night before.
She did not want to own up to that, though.
She was like, "What? I can't hear you." She doesn't like his beard. And honestly, his hair looks like there is some mayo in it still.
There's 100% crispy, rancid mayo in his hair.
Oh, God. And her legs are still hairy. And he says to her, I don't like leg hair. Can you shave your legs? And he's like, if you shave your legs, I'll shave my beard. I honestly think that's a fine compromise.
So do I. I think that it's totally fine. And he wasn't, you know what? He wasn't like a jerk about it.
No, I think that's fine. He's like, this is gross. And she's like, well, your beard's gross. He's like, okay, fine. I'll shave that and you shave this.
But then she goes and like dry shaves.
Okay, so she goes in the bathroom and then she like mimes shaving her legs.
Right. What is that?
Did you prepare for that? Like she would, if that was real, she would have came out of the bathroom bleeding.
She was right. It looked like she was like just shaving all of her skin off. Like I can't imagine the noise.
Oh my God.
Ugh.
So he says while she's shaving her legs, he's talking to the cameras and he says, this is a quote, the champagne really got her excited.
So he got her blackout drunk and had sex with her. That's what happened.
He's like, yada, yada, yada. Next thing you know, we had sex.
Ew. And I have to tell you, Tracy, I pictured it so hard too. I really did.
Yeah, she got drunk.
Yeah.
She didn't know what was going on. So now they're 3 hours from Manila, which is she lives 3 hours from Manila.
Right.
They're in Manila now. They have to go. And she lives with her sister. And she says in the cab, my sister's so excited to meet with you.
And he's like, yeah, I bet
like,
she is.
He's like, oh, great. So he's like, oh, by the way, do you have an air conditioner in your house?
I mean, but here's the thing. Ed, has there been an air conditioner anywhere except for your hotel?
Okay, but Ed, wait until you see that there's no walls.
Right.
So she could have an air conditioner all she wants. It's basically air conditioning the whole town if she has an air conditioner.
Right, because there's no enclosures.
So he's like, oh my God, we're here. We're here. This is real. And she goes, oh, this is real.
It's so funny because, like, I don't like him, right? Like, he's skeevy, but in so many ways, he reminds me of you because of, like, he just is like, oh, get out of here. Like, this is not happening.
I don't know how he didn't look into this.
Well, that's the
So
thing.
now,
He like, how did he not, if he's like that, how has he not looked into it?
right. So, I mean, I call ahead to see if a hotel has a bathtub.
Oh, I know you do. You call ahead
So
for
just
extra
saying.
pillows.
I do. So I don't know what's going on. So now they get into her town. No one has doors on their houses. There's mosquitoes everywhere. And then you see something. And I don't know if you caught this, Noelle.
What?
But they're in the town. And like these people have like, I guess the front of their house is like a little open air shop.
Yes.
And then they live in the back of it. Is that how this is set up?
Yes.
Okay. There is one that has like some kind of meat. And there are two, which looks like dead skinned rats spinning over the meat.
Tracy, I could not figure out what those spinning things were. I'm like, are these legs of some sort? Are they rats? Are
I thought they
mice?
were rats.
Yeah, I don't know what they were, but I watched. They were white.
Yes. Okay. So he says, and this is a quote, it's like a third world country.
And that's when he lost all credibility to me.
Okay. Leica?
Leica.
Ed, you are in a third world country.
Ed, you're like a moron.
Noelle, I can't take you.
I mean,
terrible.
come on.
So now we meet Prince, and Prince is adorable.
Oh my God, he's so cute.
And she's like, do you know who this is? This is your daddy. And he's like, oh, daddy. Great. That's great. So now we meet Maria in her storefront. And
Right.
Maria is not having this.
Oh, the Italian sister, Maria.
Maria Angelina Giovanna is not into this.
And Maria and Rosemary. Very funny.
So she has like a flip-flop store.
Yes.
And she makes no reaction to meeting him.
She's looking at him like, I can't believe what I'm looking at.
She says that he's short and fat.
Yeah. I mean, she's not wrong.
All right, so they go inside, and I'm saying inside very, very loosely. They go inside, and all her sisters, they go through a they go through flaps of CD jackets that they've used as a curtain.
See, when I was younger, I think I used to like hang them over my bed because it was like cool. Right. But it wasn't my door.
That is her door. Right, that's her door. And all the sisters have made a surprise party, which is so cute. Aww. They have like this long table, and they cooked it. They cooked a little dinner.
That was really nice of them.
So Ed comes inside. He can't believe what he's seeing, and they're like, "What do you think?" And he goes, "I guess like she like draped sheets everywhere to make it more." This is a quote: "Make it more homely."
He's so dumb.
I think he meant home-me.
Yeah.
Homey.
Make it more home-ish.
Right.
Uh-huh.
So what do you think about the food that they cooked?
So they made fish, they made chicken,
right.
They made rice. Now, of course, this is like the first thing I'm looking at. Now, I'm not one to judge. This is really nice of them to do it. But then when they asked him like if he wanted to eat something, like I'd be like, I can't. I don't have a stomach. You know what I mean? Like,
okay, but guess what? He's staying here for a very long time.
Well, he should have come prepared.
Option. With what?
I don't know. Oodles and noodles.
Some ramen.
Anything. A cracker.
To be honest with you, the chicken looked pretty good.
Okay, here's the thing. I couldn't figure out what was on it, the chicken and the rice. I mean, it looked good. I can't be bad. But
good.
When I had the problem with it was when the chicken was in the place with them.
Right, like the chicken was there and then they were eating his brother.
That's the problem I had.
Okay, so her dad was late because he was
on the piggy farm.
Piggy farm. He was at the piggy farm and they're like, do you want to eat? And he's like, well, how about we drink some water?
Yeah, because
does anyone else need water?
He was sweating profusely. I feel really bad for him. He must have been so uncomfortable.
Well, the father comes in. Mm-hmm. He doesn't even look him in the face.
Nope.
He shakes his hand and walks away from him. Her father is like kind of a disgusting person.
What? Tell me why you think that.
I feel like he lets them live like that. He doesn't care. He won't even look this guy in the face. He obviously knows that she needs to be saved.
Well, yeah. I mean, if I was the father, I'd be encouraging this because, like, go have a better life for you and your son. Right.
But he's just so, and then he's not friendly. He's not nice.
No, he's not nice.
And it's like, ugh, I hated him. I hated Freddie. So the chicken and the cat are playing under the table.
Right.
And he's like, well, what are your intentions with my daughter? And now Ed's like, well, I'm afraid now that I'm her meal ticket because, now I see how she lives. Oh, yeah? What do you think was happening?
Right. Where did you think she lived before?
Ed, how do you think it was? You thought it was good?
You know what, though? I will say this. Seeing from where she's coming from and how great she speaks English, like, that's really huge.
Now, is she the only one that speaks English?
I don't know. I was wondering that as well.
Because, I mean, she seems to be translating.
Yeah, I don't know. I think so, though.
Well, speaking of English, let's talk about Varya and Geoff, who speaks. Varya is an English whiz.
Oh, boy. I like her. I have to tell you, I do like her.
I don't know what's going on here. So they're packing to go to Siberia because that's where her mom lives. Isn't that cool?
Yeah, I think that's super cool.
Oh, my God. And also, she looked adorable because her blue shirt matched her eyes. She has very pretty eyes.
Yeah, and her belt matched, too. Very cute.
Well, I mean, she's Hillary Clinton, so.
It was very cute.
Her mom doesn't want to see her move. That's the only problem that she has. So they're flying to Siberia, and they're taking a red eye. And so it's basically like, I would compare it to flying from New York to California.
That's what I was going to say. It's like a 5-hour flight.
Right. And they join the Mile High Club.
Gross.
Disgusting.
Gross.
But they get to Siberia. And Noelle.
Yes.
The bears. The bears, Noelle.
Okay. How cute. How cute.
First, they show a family of bears. Then they show a baby bear rolling around on the side of the road. I can't take it. I want to hug him.
I like that she's like, it's the wilderness. And it's like, well, yeah, I mean, it kind of is the wilderness.
Very, very cute. So now she's like, what did you get for my mom to bring her? And
okay.
It's like, okay. So,
but why didn't you say something before?
Yeah, maybe say things like that. So he pulls over. He picks flowers on the side of the road. And she's like, well, maybe I should have told him.
I mean, you guys were just at duty free. You could have gotten her something.
But also, my mom really likes Crown Royal. My mom, she loves Strivectin eye cream.
Oh,
seriously.
funny.
So now they pull up to an abandoned factory.
Very scary.
Oh, wait, no, it's her mom's house. And they go inside the building, and then they go into the janitor's closet. Oh, wait, no, that's her mom's apartment.
It's her mom's apartment, right.
And it must have been the kind of factory that it was. It must have been a wire factory. Because her mom owns all of the wires in the whole world. They're all inside of this woman's apartment.
She was cute, though.
Sure, adorable. And she says something so funny.
What did she said, did you pick my flowers in the schoolyard?
Yes.
It was so funny.
So she's like, Mom, what'd you cook for me? And she's like, oh, no, you guys are going to cook. So they cook pelmeni.
Yum.
Pelmeni?
Yum.
Super young. And they're doing it with pork, which is not my favorite. But, listen, I would eat it.
Yeah, I mean, you eat what you could get. Yeah, I would eat it in 1 second.
So Larissa, her mom, says that he made a good impression, but she still doesn't want her daughter to move. And her daughter's like, listen, I already live 5 hours away from you by plane.
That's true. I mean, she lives super far from her mother. Like, it would take her a full day to drive to see her mother, 24 hours at least.
Noelle.
Yeah.
It takes you a full day to get to California if you drive from New York?
Yeah. It takes 24 hours.
Does it?
Doesn't it?
Mm-mm.
No?
That's to Florida.
Oh, wait. No. Well, it takes more than 24 hours, obviously, because I did it. I just realized I did it.
She did it in one day, apparently, ladies and gentlemen. Noelle drove from New York City to California in one day.
You know, guys, every week I show you how stupid I am sometimes, and I just proved it again to you. So there you go. So there's something else you could post about a bunch this week.
Post about it, guys. So she wants to know, the mother wants to know if she could trust Jeffrey. And he's like, I feel bad saying yes because I am an ex-convict and a drug dealer. And I guess I have to confess. He doesn't say that out loud. He says it in his head. Mm-hmm. But Jeffrey has been arrested more recently. He makes it like he was a young lad selling some marijuana on the side of the freeway.
I don't think he's going to talk about his other arrests. I think he's only going to talk about his arrest when he was like 18, a young lad.
Yes, I think I think you're correct. Speaking of
lads,
speaking of lads and lasses, let's talk about Darcy and Tom.
Oy.
So Tom didn't sleep the night before because he had so much anxiety because he was going to go see his girlfriend that he never broke up with, apparently.
It's
Darcy.
Like, I don't understand these people. Darcy says they are together, but he wants to meet her to break up with her, but she thinks there's hope, and he still has feelings for her and wants to be with her, but he's with someone else. You know what I mean? Like, what are they talking about?
Nothing. They're talking about nothing.
Yes.
So he said that he still has romantic feelings for Darcy's. So, again, just like last week we talked about, they do the handshake.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay, good for you.
Mm-hmm.
What's happening with her boobs?
They're just getting larger and larger.
Okay, but they're in this. Well, actually, they're out of this jumper thing.
So they're out of this jumper thing, and she's got like netting, I guess, like holding them in.
Is there netting?
I didn't know there was netting until the end when she was outside crying. You see that it was netting.
I didn't see netting. Oh my God. So he flew in from Toronto. He was doing promos.
Give me a break.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
And she had just gone to Malta. Now, remember, we talked to her when she was in Malta. That's when she did our cameo for us for our live podcast that we did, because her and Stacy went for their 45th birthdays.
That's right. I remember.
She is being so passive aggressive.
Well, that's the thing. She came in with a bad attitude already.
Yeah. So she says, "Oh my God, Tom, thanks so much for texting me on my birthday."
Mm-hmm.
And then she whisper cries this. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
I waited the whole day. It's okay.
It's okay.
I just waited the whole day. It's okay. It's okay. I just waited the whole day. I just waited the whole day.
It's okay.
It's fine. It's fine. I don't care. He said that he never wanted to hurt her and that she cries.
Right.
Then he said he turns this whole thing on her and he says, I never wanted to hurt you, but you were never there for me.
He's so nasty. This whole conversation just made him vile.
And he says that she never lets him talk. So she's like, okay, but you're trying to cover up something.
Right.
Also, side note, I think her hair color is pretty decent.
Oh, yeah. No, I actually liked her hair color here. And you know what? Her hair didn't look all crazy rat nesty either.
Yes, it was a little bit better. So she tells him that she knows about his new girl. And he goes, yeah, I met someone and she's called Shannon.
Uh-huh. She's called Shannon. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. He said that he feels very confused because he went to Milan for Fashion Week. Tom, did you wear your Fendi scarf?
Tom, did you meet your boyfriend there too?
Seriously, you went to Milan for Fashion Week? Listen, no one invited you to Milan for Fashion Week. You chose to go to Milan for Fashion Week. And he said that he met someone called Shannon who loves him the way that he wants to be loved. Well, I'm glad that you know someone for 3 weeks and they love you the way that you want to be loved.
Also, then you know what? If you met someone that loves you the way you want to be loved, why are you even meeting Darcy?
Seriously, leave her alone. So he blames her. He said that he complains that she talks about Jesse too much. Yeah, she's always talked about Jesse. That's how you guys bonded. She was heartbroken about Jesse and you were going to pick the pieces up.
And then he's basically like, he feels jealous that he didn't love her the way Jesse did.
Oh, shut up,
Shut
Tom.
up, Tom.
He's talking in circles. He's trying to confuse everyone. And he says, this is a quote, "I love you like you're my sister."
Girl, she's like, oh, great. Okay, well, maybe you could have told me that before we were in the sack.
Ugh, God. Tom should be stuffed in a sack and beaten with a bat.
Yeah, he's a piece of shit.
Oh, my God. So he said that he still wants to be friends. And she's like, no.
Good for her.
Then he says, and this is where I want to kick him in his British teeth that would probably crumble.
Uh-huh.
Try not to ruin the next one.
And then he says she puts weight on.
He said, did you put on weight?
Okay. He was so cruel at the end of their conversation. Like, I would have been destroyed if this was someone I really loved.
But again, I don't know what happened with the editing. Something happened because it was not a fluid conversation.
That's very true too.
Well, he's blaming her, so now she's outside and she's crying, obviously, and she's crying to the camera, and he's smoking. He's such a dirtbag.
You know what though? Good for her for waiting until she leaves to cry.
Well, she did a little whisper cry in there.
She did a little whisper cry. She did a signature Darcy, as you would say, it was very on brand.
Yes. It's fine. I was just, thank you so much for my birthday text. Oh, my God. Okay.
So funny.
Now, Stephanie and Erica.
Okay.
I hate Erica.
I hate Stephanie.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
So her online persona, Stephanie's online persona, she says is way more sexual. Now, let's talk about this.
Okay.
Apparently, through a little bit of investigation, Stephanie shares nude photographs of herself online for cash.
That's pretty wild.
And that is one of the jobs that she has from her apartment and why she could afford very many Gucci bags.
Oh, all right. Well, it makes more sense.
She should have been at Milan for Fashion Week, just saying. So Erica and her go to, and it's called The Studio, right? It's like some art studio, weird place.
Right.
And they're going to be doing boob molds. They're molding their breasts with plaster.
Very interesting.
Very interesting. Very like, I don't know. This is very strange.
Yes.
So they go to this place, and she's like, I didn't know that that's what we were going to do.
Right. And Erica's like, well, you show your boobs for money. Why would you have a problem with this, basically?
Okay, but also you were a bikini top. You knew exactly what we were doing.
Okay, thank you. I thought that was a yellow bikini top. And I'm like, am I crazy?
Yeah, it was a bikini top. So just saying.
Right.
So she said that she's annoyed that she didn't ask her sooner, but that's bull pippy.
Yeah.
So they talk about moving to New York. Like if Erica would move to New York, and she goes, oh, we've talked about it briefly.
Right.
We talked about it briefly.
It's BS.
You're on a show called 90 Day Fiance about starting the K-1 visa process. You've talked about it briefly. So Erica's like, well, you can't just tell me because I have weddings to shoot because I'm a photographer.
Right. Like I have jobs booked.
She's like, also, she doesn't even want to have sex with me, but she wants me to move to the United States.
Right. It's because Stephanie, number one, doesn't like girls. No. Stephanie doesn't like girls. And that's really what it is. Like, listen, Erica, she's not the best, but she's not terrible. But Stephanie, she doesn't want to have sex with Erica because she's scared. And she won't just say that.
I agree with you. So she said that they've been having a lot of disagreements. So she's going to take her on date night. And she gives her a crystal headband and says, this is because you're my princess.
I mean, gross. She's very predator-like sometimes.
So now they go to a restaurant, and she says it's the most romantic restaurant. It looks like a noisy cafe.
It looks like where we went after our first live show.
Where'd we go?
Remember we went to that beer hall?
Oh, the beer hall.
Yeah.
So Stephanie's wearing a kimono dress. They're both in costume constantly.
Thank you, Tracy. I wrote that. They're in costume. Why are they in costumes?
I don't know. All the time they're just wearing costumes. So they've been talking for 4 months, which is not that long again.
Right.
And Erica still has a dating app on her phone. So Stephanie's like, listen, I noticed that you still have a dating app on your phone. And Erica's like, yes, because I use the business networking side of that app.
Was that a thing?
No.
I've never heard of anything like this.
Because it's not real.
Okay.
That's why you did not hear that.
Thank you.
So Stephanie wants her to delete the app. So she's like, would you delete the app? She's like, sure, you want me to delete the app? I'll delete the app. I did it. There you go. Because you forced me to.
Yeah, she was very passive aggressive, but I feel like Stephanie was being a little crybaby about it.
So Stephanie said that makes me uncomfortable. And she said, everything makes you uncomfortable.
Right. Everything about me because I'm a girl and you don't like girls.
Right. Well, that is the truth.
Yes.
So she said, you demanded that I delete the app. Okay, relax, Erica.
Yeah, I wouldn't say she demanded it.
So Erica said that she just wants to control her. So she takes her headband off. Ooh, sick burn. And she said, and this is super sick burn, I'm not your princess.
So it's like this is what they're fighting about.
Yeah, this is normal stuff. Also, Stephanie's roots look very greasy.
I feel like I have to tell you, she always looks shiny and greasy.
Little too greasy, just saying. Take an extra shower. Let's talk about Yolanda. Speaking of shiny, Yolanda is shining bright like a diamond.
Homegirl is the shiniest.
Now, what is her online retail business with her daughter? They sell clothes?
I don't know. I'm assuming it's like Poshmark or something.
Yeah, I think they sell like thrift clothes.
Yeah.
So anyway, so she said that she has to go with her daughter Kara to discuss their online retail business.
Okay.
Sure. Okay. Then they don't do that. Instead, they do this. So she hasn't told Kara that he, quote unquote, deleted his Instagram or got hacked or whatever. And they sit down and she's like, all right, well, let's just get these tickets to England.
Right. But they don't know where they're flying to.
Sure. It's like, yeah, let's get these tickets to England. He said that the airport was Atlanta, Georgia. Does that make sense? Is that an airport in England? Atlanta, Georgia? Cool. So she says that, so they look him up and he changed his name on Instagram. And I guess it's like his real thing now because he's done with Yolanda. He doesn't care anymore.
Right.
So now he's using it as his real Instagram and it has a Nigerian name. And now what I took from this, I think it might be Musa.
Really?
That's how I think because when they were like bleeping it out, but let's just call him Musa, right?
Okay,
great.
I like it.
So she's not getting it. Yolanda's not getting it. So the daughter looks it up and is like, okay, so his name is Musa. It's a Nigerian name. He has a Nigerian phone number. Let's call this number. So she calls, a woman picks up and hangs up.
Right, but Yolanda says that it was a mistake.
She's like, this is a mistake. I'm very confused. And her daughter's like, you know that Nigerians have a history of scams, right? And she's like, I know, I just don't want to believe it because I love him. You know, I poured my heart out to him. And then she's talking to the camera and she said, you know, my late husband, Dwayne, after he died, now he's your husband?
Now he's your husband. Right.
I don't think that was her husband. I think
that was just like a long-term partner. That's what I thought.
Just saying. Anyway, so now in the next scene, she has a green shirt on that is the greenest green in the green.
Is this where she's wearing her wooden earrings?
Yeah, and she has green nails to match her green shirt. She is the jolly green giant in the scene. So she said 3-4 days, there's been no answer from Williams.
But don't you feel like
no response.
You wouldn't give up by then?
I mean, not Yolanda. Not for true love.
Yeah, I guess.
So she gets an email from a stranger that says that they will release private pictures of her if she doesn't pay up.
That's nuts.
And she's like, you know, this must be from Williams because I did send him some nude pictures.
But she doesn't even think it's from him. She thinks it's because he got hacked.
Well, yes, because she thinks that Williams was hacked and that's how the pictures got out.
Right.
So she thinks that they got his email. And now they know what's going on. She has on so much makeup and so much highlight. I can't believe it.
I know. It's too much. It really is too much.
She's a disco ball. So let's talk about Ash and Avery. They kind of didn't do too much on him. We show him, they're packing for a 3-day getaway on the other side of Australia, which is a tropical part of Australia, and it's the northeast. It's a 2-hour drive.
Her purple lipstick is perfect.
Yes, she's very, very pretty.
She's so pretty.
And they go to the most beautiful tropical beach I've ever seen.
I was so jealous.
I love that she's drinking wine, even though he doesn't drink. And she's talking to him and she's asking him about bringing his son to the U.S. And she's like, you know, I just think that, you know, from what your brother said, that there might be some things that you're not being totally honest about.
Right.
And he will not answer her questions. He's dodging them. And she said that everything he says to her is super rehearsed.
But it is. He dances around everything she says. Like, she'll ask him a question and he'll it's like an interview, you know?
Okay, so let's do it. I want you to be Avery and I'm going to be Ash. And I want you to start asking me about what's going to happen with my son, yada, yada, yada.
Okay. So, Ash, I would love it if
yes, Avery, my darling princess queen.
Well, I was thinking that if we're going to be serious, you should move to Washington.
I love that you love discussing things like that. And it is so creative that you love talking to me with your mouth.
But do you think that your son would be able to come?
My son is a bright star in the night sky.
Do you think that your ex-wife would be okay with your son coming?
I appreciate that you asked me that. And that is so nice of you that you ask me things all the time and that you look at me so lovingly.
Well, do you think that maybe I can meet her on this trip?
Only the sun knows where the moon goes.
All right. Can I meet your son on this trip?
Meeting my son would be such a joy.
So, listen, do you think for in real life that it would be okay if you brought your son to America and lived there with him?
Living with my son would be a dream amongst gods.
God, you're so right.
Right? It's like, what are you saying? No one knows what you're saying. You won't answer a question. He will never answer a question. Okay, ask me other questions that are not about my son.
Okay. Ash, what part of Australia are we in?
Every part.
Do you like to meditate in the ocean?
Meditation brings so much peace and joy to so many people across so many lands.
What do you think we should eat for dinner tonight?
Eating dinner is such a privilege that we could do this together here on this planet Earth. Do you like that?
Do you think your brother will ever warm up to me?
My brother is made of the same DNA that I am, and we have the same parents.
That was good. That was so good.
So this is what Avery has to deal with. I think that she should 86 Ash and get the F out of there.
Me too. I think it's like danger. And you know what? Out of all these couples, I don't know. I don't know if many of them are going to make it.
I don't know what's going on, but he looks like a meerkat with his eyes.
What the hell is a
I think
meerkat?
he could see in the dark. I think he could see in the dark. I'm telling you, this guy can see in the dark. You're going to see.
That's
he is definitely
so funny.
part meerkat. Guys, thank you so much for listening to this episode of 90 Day Fiance Trash Talk. Make sure you tell a friend about it. We are in such crazy times, and I hope that you're really enjoying it. Make sure you listen to my other podcast, Only in New York, and Noelle and I have a different podcast called Teen Mom Trash Talk. Join the group. Join the Patreon. It's going to be amazing. You can follow me at Trixie Tuzini, TrixieTuzini on Instagram and Twitter, and you could go to tracycarnazzo.com for any kind of project that I'm working on. Noelle, where can we find you?
You could find me at NoeGirl on Twitter or Noe_bear810 on Instagram.
Oh, that's so amazing. Guys, thank you for listening, and we'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye.